Getting your Google Search Console set up right means seeing every piece of data that matters to you. And today I'll show you when to use domain properties or URL prefix properties. A domain property within Google Search Console is a property that is used to verify and manage all URLs on your website across all subdomains and protocols. The domain property type allows you to see performance data, index coverage, and other reports for every single variation of your site, including the www version, the non-www version, all other subdomains like blog.yourdomain or app.yourdomain. The advantage of this approach lies in its comprehensive coverage, giving you complete visibility across your entire domain, including all subdomains and protocols. This allows you to manage and monitor everything in one place. For example, we use a domain property for our Google Search Console tracking at SEO testing. Now, the beautiful thing about domain properties is how they adapt as your website evolves. When you change your site structure, the domain property automatically adapts, maintaining consistent data collection and monitoring without requiring additional setup or configuration. This approach prevents gaps in your tracking and provides continuous insights into your website's performance, as it always tracks all subdomains and protocols. It's worth noting that the DNS verification process for domain properties, although a little more technical, is more secure and ensures you control the entire domain. Speaking of DNS records, this is often considered a con when using the domain property method. DNS verification requires some technical knowledge and can be challenging for users unfamiliar with DNS settings. We also need to mention that if your DNS settings are altered, the verification can fail and you'll need to re-verify your ownership, which can be inconvenient during hosting changes or migrations. The consolidated data from all subdomains and protocols also creates its own set of challenges. Since everything is grouped, isolating specific website versions becomes a complex task. Website owners with multiple subdomains often cannot isolate and monitor particular versions of their sites with the precision they need. Now let's shift the focus to what is a URL prefix property in Google Search Console. A URL prefix property tracks and reports data for one specific URL path and its related subdirectories. This means data will only be tracked for one protocol and one specific domain version, which allows you to manage and monitor a more targeted version of your website, such as the www subdomain version or the blog subfolder. This ability to monitor just one domain version is a crucial benefit of using a URL prefix property when setting up a site in Google Search Console, as it gives you laser-focused data. This granular view becomes incredibly valuable for monitoring specific sections, such as your blog posts or product pages. Another advantage is its more straightforward verification process. Unlike domain properties, which require DNS verification, a URL prefix property can be verified using more accessible methods, like uploading an HTML file, adding a meta tag to your site, or linking to Google Analytics. So even if you are not a tech wizard, you can have your property up and running in minutes. On the flip side, the main drawback of a URL prefix property is its limited scope. It only covers the specific version you define during the setup process, which means you'll need to set up separate properties for other site variations like the www and non-www versions. This can lead to more time spent managing multiple properties. Another downside is that if your site structure changes, new subdomains are added, or protocols are switched, this won't automatically be included under the existing URL prefix property. You'll have to set up new properties for each version, making the process more complicated and leading to a fragmented view of your site's performance. To add a property to Google Search Console, log into your Google account and go to the Google Search Console dashboard. Then click on the property selector from the top left corner and click Add Property. Now you must choose the property type you wish to add to Google Search Console. Once you have decided, enter the site information and click on the option you want to go with. You'll then be prompted to choose a verification method. Follow the steps provided by GSC during the setup wizard. Once verified, data should start appearing on your new property within a few days. Please remember that Google Search Console is approximately 48 hours behind, so you may need to wait this long before your property starts getting any data. Hey, if you're enjoying this video, please consider subscribing. Our goal at SEO Testing is to save you time so you spend less time pulling data into Excel and more time thinking about how to get more traffic from Google. Now, back to the video. The key differences between domain and URL prefix properties lie in 4 pillars. The first is coverage. The domain property covers all URLs linked to your domain, including subdomains like www and the blog subdomain. Meanwhile, the URL prefix properties only cover one specific part of the site that was selected during the setup. The second is verification. Domain property verification requires DNS record verification, which allows Google Search Console to ensure that ownership is verified at the domain level. On the other hand, URL prefix properties offer multiple verification methods, such as the HTML file, meta tags, or integration with either Google Analytics or Google Tag Manager. The third key difference is granularity. As mentioned, the domain properties provide a broad view of the entire domain, which can help monitor large websites in a single unified view. However, since the data is aggregated across the site, it can be challenging to analyze the performance of specific sections. Fortunately, URL properties provide more targeted tracking, allowing you to isolate and monitor performance metrics for each section. The fourth difference is the data integration approach. Using a domain property lets you view the data for all subdomains together, giving you a complete view of your site's performance. This can help identify site-wide trends such as overall traffic growth or domain-wide crawl errors. In the opposite scenario, if your marketing team focuses on the blog while your sales team works on the online store, URL prefix properties allow each team to monitor their specific section without the need to filter out information. You should use a domain property when managing websites that span multiple subdomains and protocols, as it provides a unified view of all site variations. Using a domain property within Google Search Console simplifies the task of tracking performance across these different site variations, rather than setting up and managing various properties for each subdomain. This consolidation allows you to monitor critical metrics like ranking, traffic, and indexing without navigating between different accounts or dashboards. Ultimately, you should use a domain property to simplify your workflow, ensure consistency, and maintain a unified picture of your entire domain activity. You should use a URL prefix property when managing distinct sections of your website independently, such as a separate blog or online store. This approach also integrates with Google Analytics, offering segmented performance data for traffic, behavior, and user interactions, particular to the chosen site areas. If you need to monitor specific domains or sections of your website, a URL prefix property in Google Search Console can be set up to assist with that level of tracking. Now, if you want to make the most out of your Google Search Console data, use SEO testing to set up SEO tests and know what changes to your site increase traffic. We have a free 14-day trial for you to test it. Sign up using the link in the description. Thanks for watching.